Question is, we have an elephant in the room that we can't blame on the white man, and it's called molestation, right?
Mhm.
Why do you believe it's so rampant, and why are we collectively as a people so quiet about it? Because the way I look at it is this, man. It's just like, we speak about generational stuff. I don't think anything is more generational than molestation.
Yeah.
Because it's very hard for a person who's experiences that to bounce back. It's just the reality of it. They have offsprings. They struggle with their children. They struggle with their relationships. Their children struggle with their offspring and relationships from that activity that took them. And white dudes not raping most of the kids.
So I gotta add a caveat to that question. Are we saying as it relates to, because overall, if you're talking about convictions, it is mostly white males. If you're talking about
Black
pedophilia,
children?
You said specifically
specifically black children. Yeah, specifically black children.
All right.
Okay, yeah, that's what I need to know.
Yeah, specifically black
most of that is
children.
granddaddies and uncles,
Yeah.
and all these uncomfortable,
And teenagers too.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and most of these uncomfortable Thanksgivings we having. And I was talking, on a video previously about younger family members who have experienced that, experimenting on younger cousins, their brothers and sisters, whatever. I've had a student that I didn't know recently, and his mom called me. He's like 20 now, but she was like, she got like 6 kids. She's always working or whatever. Then she finds out that the son has given the little sister a STD, and this is just happening at home, and she had no clue, and then she's in like a rock and a hard place because she's like, okay, my son, this is my child, and he has to go to jail. Then I also got to support, my daughter too. Even another situation I talked about previously, one of my students, and these all young kids. And to be honest, I brought the conversation up before about young boys and young men, even with it happening with older women and young boys. I still like have yet to find anybody that's in my regular circle who had been molested growing up. Whether that been by a woman or a man or whatever. And so it's like, we don't talk about it. Or we'll say, oh, that's incestuous white people stuff. I'm like, no, incest happen in the black community every single day. And grandmamas know about it, and uncles and everybody. It's just, we just stay away from Uncle Joe at the family reunion. I don't go around Uncle Joe. Or why ain't we reprimanding Uncle Joe? Why are we just allowing him to be around if we know he say little stuff to the little girls? Or like, why is that normal? Why is it acceptable, in our community? So again, it's like, do we care about protecting our kids, and then, just looking at how many parents went through that, they're almost scared, because of what Uncle Joe did to them and what he said was going to happen to them. So they're just like, I'm gonna just keep, my kids away from him and scared to go around. I mean, it's a lot, talking about molestation, but that is a huge issue in our community that we refuse to like truthfully address as much as we address the economics and the hospitals and this and that. I'm like, nah, let's talk about the family dynamic here in our community.
I think that's a big source because people are broken. And we have the system still, but a lot of people are broken because they were violated sexually.
I just think it's because people are afraid to be violent to people.
I agree.
You just got to be violent to people. Violence is an answer for a lot of things. You know what I'm saying? It's not the only answer, but when violence is the answer when it's the answer.
I agree.
And I think violence can be an amazing deterrent.